our guiding light 1 hour had decision point 1 as well. How fascinating, how puzzle-like seeing that evolution of the price. The dance on 1 hour, 1679 and a quarter, correlates with the dance on daily, 1679. So once again, this chart is showing ES non-stoppable all the way to 1657.75. So once again, this is a reminder, entering in the middle of the bearish trend without pullback, not a prudent thing to do. Currently, I'm simply monitoring the structure, monitoring for the pullback. I will have to exercise absolute patience and discipline before I can touch the price. So 1657.75 is a level I would be incredibly interested in. But let's take a look on our weekly chart. What is ES weekly telling us? All the levels drawn in April 2011. There we go. ES is staging quite a fascinating, very impressive collapse. But 1657 will be very, very critical to see if ES will find a meaningful and powerful reversal. But this is a reminder of what we witnessed in the months of May. Very critical, very powerful bearish three-wave correction, and the rally had continued. So 1657 will be very critical level on ES to see if this is bearish pullback or if this is bearish reversal. That would be very, very critical because both are still quite powerful. Bullish structure still has potential reaching all the way to 1825.75. But that's the power of pure price. That's a level that shows you very, very clearly and very far in advance where all the levels are. Oil even more magnificent, incredibly precise, incredibly clear, with very powerful hourly formations and hourly trades yesterday, as discussed with our students. Here's where oil took a very powerful collapse that we witnessed yesterday and staged a magnificent reversal, which we caught twice yesterday on oil. And this is what happened when price reached danger zone level. Currently, I expect oil to collapse potentially all the way to 107. 107 is a level I will be monitoring on oil to the downside on my guiding light 1 hour. But don't be fooled, as oil showing potential of eventually making all the way to 108.41. Why is 108.41 so powerful? The magic of the puzzle still on. As we're witnessing on weekly chart, it's a brick wall on weekly chart. 108.40 is not to be ignored. When you see that very powerful correlation that has an addition of daily levels, it's very, very powerful and it's not to be ignored. So bottom line, oil, our guiding light 1 hour, had reached danger zone levels. We're seeing corrections, we're seeing dancing. So currently oil is pushes all the way to the downside. I'm incredibly excited to see what oil will do at 107. That's the level I will be excited at taking a long trade. But do remember the fact that oil already had reached danger zone levels, and therefore it is not to be ignored, it is to be respected highly. We'll be monitoring formations on oil with extreme caution before I will take a long trade, because we know acquiring long position anywhere in danger zone levels is pretty aggressive trading. So ideally, push all the way to 107, I would have a lot more confidence to catch a long. Catching long anywhere here is incredibly aggressive trading. But again, oil has potential all the way to 108.41. So let's read the pure price. Let's have a fantastic day.
Hi, everybody. This is John Carter. I am.
Let's take a look. Let's see what we have at the news. So when we come to the markets at the trading room open, and we're seeing such powerful bearish formations, we just can't touch them because the price is already in significant profit. Entering in the middle of random price structure is a recipe for disaster, with no question about it. Oh yes, I'm highly interested what price will do at 1664. 1664. On oil monitoring 107, 107 is not that far off. So on that note, let's take a look and let's see all the way to 106.92 potentially on oil. Good morning, member. All right, so massive, massive, massive amount of data this morning. What do we have at 10 a.m. EST? We have Philly Fed Manufacturing Index and Housing Marketing Index. On Friday, 8:30, we have building permits, but we do remember that we devote Friday to education. We don't believe in trading on Friday. And we're witnessing 99% of the time how critical it is not to trade on Friday. So what will oil do at 107, 106.92? 106.92 is my perfect level, but I'm start monitoring oil at 107, 106.92. Alphys, I love what I see on 106.92 on oil. Love, love, love what I see. Absolutely no question about it. Um, please do read everything that's on the website because it's your internet browser. So pretty please clear that. There are instructions of the website. It would take about 30 seconds to clear that. It's the internet browser issue, and Omnovia not liking that particular internet browser. Don, you're posting in the wrong room. You're supposed to have that chat completely closed and post all the questions only in Alpha Wave Traders Club. So please follow the instructions and post all the questions in Alpha Wave Traders Club only and all the comments. Um, who is a member? Anne, is this you? So those of you guys who come up as a member, it's a matter of clearing out your cache and following the instructions as posted on the website. It's a conflict between Amnovia and the internet browser. And it typically happens, I don't remember, is it Internet Explorer or Google Chrome, one of those? So as you could see, ES is finding support very, very close to 1664. It is 14 minutes to the news. It's a bit too close to the news for me to touch ES, but you could see how clear and how precise this level is. Yes, and you have to make sure you follow the instructions and you have to log out. That's the key. Right, exactly as instructions, correct? So guys, monitoring the dance very, very close to the news. This is not a bad time to take a break. I would not have any problem taking trades on oil, but I do not want to enter ES right before the news. I don't have any problem. ES, drastically different instrument than oil. I don't have any problem taking trades on ES after the news, but before. So it's a bit of a bummer that ES already finding a bounce as we expected. Oil is not that far off from 106.92. Excellent time to ask questions. And please let me know if you're here. Love the pictures of your doggy. Thank you for sharing. So guys, more than likely, we're not going to have any trades until after the news release. Good time to take a little break. 106.92 is very, very critical level on oil. That's correct, Mark? Yes. The answer is yes. Excellent. So, Jay, you have a competition. Mr. Big Range CEO, you have Mr. Large Time Frame CEO. I love that. That is fantastic. Mark had been calling all long-term trades in Alpha Wave Traders Club. There is no advantage. It's simply Fibonacci number. Everybody has different account size. It's very critical to assess the risk factor. Is 21 range appropriate? It's much bigger stops, so should never be more than 2% of your account size. I love that. Absolutely, Jay. Simply Fibonacci number. I've been listening to our big range CEO, and big range CEO have been sharing larger range charts, and I'm forever grateful to Jay. I started paying attention to 21 range, and Jay is taking a look at what, 34, 55, and a few other range charts, which again, drastically bigger risks. So prudent and conservative trader always thinks about the negative side of the coin and preservation of capital. So again, those who trade oil are already accomplished traders. So Philadelphia Fed expectations 15 versus 19.8. Uh-oh. National Hurricane Center tells you how much TV I watch. Tropical depression over the Far East Atlantic intensifies into Tropical Storm Erin. Weather disturbance in the Caribbean. Near Cape. I got totally rained in this morning walking the dogs, which is awesome. I love the rain. So ES is at danger zone levels. Gave a bit of a bounce of 1664, but nothing meaningful. Oil is very, very close to the level we're monitoring very carefully. What will oil do at 106.92? It's a poem. Yes. I think weather contrast is a magnificent thing, but I'm gonna be frank, I do miss fall and spring colors. It's been years. It's been what? Since 2002, since I've seen last time fall leaves, which is a bit crazy. Yep, absolutely. So here's oil with a bounce at 107. We discussed we're monitoring oil 107, 106.92, correct? Office, I would seriously, I have to come to Vancouver. I'm totally jealous. I wanted to tell you, let's take a look on oil. So we're finding alpha long on oil. What is the problem? 6 minutes to the hour close. I would feel so much better if it was 9:58. Oil can still give us a jiggle all the way to 106.92. 6 minutes, I don't have as much confidence before the close of the hour as I do 2-3 minutes before the close of the hour. We already have a structure on 13 range. 13 range is solid, but the stop is asking on oil at 106.90. And take a look at that dance. It's nasty. The importance of timing. Oil is killing me. Also, let's take a look on oil 8 range. Yes, 106.90 is so much better. So we're monitoring the dance on oil as we discussed in Alpha Wave Traders Club. Very, very carefully. The dance is still on. News in 4 minutes. Guys, heads up. At any moment, I may be taking long on oil. I'm monitoring the formations on the structure across the board very, very carefully. All right, guys, I am gonna take a long on oil 107.22. 107.22. 23 even better. Again, we discussed we would like to see oil at 106.92 ideally. That did not happen. 1 minute till the news. Don, you left Alpha Wave Traders Club again. Please take a look at the instructions. You should remain in Alpha Wave Traders Club. Just bring the charts in the other room, as all the questions and all the discussions are happening there. All right, so here's a fascinating dance on oil. I am not hearing any news release. When news is out, it typically gives me a bell. Everything is out. Philadelphia Fed 9.3 versus 15, not good. Housing market 59 versus 57, pretty good. So what does that mean? Prices, oops, that's my stop. We're almost in a trade. Almost in a trade. Stop 106.96. ES is finding support. ES had reached danger zone levels. Monitoring ES very, very carefully. All right, so let's see what the price will do. Remember, the short trend had reached the exhaustion level, so we just had a pretty horrific Philadelphia index, which is manufacturing index. So, and I'm telling you, I am not brave to take shorts anywhere at this level. I expect a pretty impressive pullback. So I'm a lot more geared towards long versus short on ES. At the moment I'm monitoring because I expect the support in a play. All right, we are in a trade on oil. On oil to the upside, my first target 107.35. Remember, yes, on daily chart did not make it to the danger zone yet, 1657, 1658, which is the ultimate destination on our guiding light 1 hour. But you could see prices dancing, prices finding support. So until I get a meaningful pullback, I can't enter in the middle of nowhere. Price is a bit of comatose, taking a pause. That's the difference between conservative prudent trading and speculative, assumptive nonsense. Price is incredibly precise. Is this clear? Currently, I'm simply monitoring to see if this will be meaningful or if it's been simply a corrective. So guys, what are we seeing on oil 1 hour? We're seeing incredibly powerful bearish close. That's the reason why we're finding so much struggle on oil. This is a dance that may continue to 106.92. We waited patiently until the close of the hour, but the candle did close bearish engulfing, didn't it? So the struggle is still on. Huge struggle on oil across the board. Remember, my ideal level was 106.92. Price did not make it to 106.92. ES gave us temporary pullback. 1657 on ES is ideal. Insane struggle on oil, guys. Yes, almost at our ideal level, 1657, not that far off. Everybody has their own financial circumstances. On oil, you should have at least 10 to 15,000 per contract, but it also means that it should never be more than 2% of the risk. Does that make sense? So you have to assess your personal circumstance and do the math. If the stop on one contract is $250, that should be only 2% of your account size per lot. Maximum, absolute maximum. That's the rule of thumb. 2 negative trades, you're done with trading for the day. 2 positive trades, you're done with trading. Therefore, maximum of trades per day is 3. With that logic, preservation of capital works. That way you survive the worst times in trading. Any other kind of thinking, unless it's more conservative, will not work. Insane struggle on oil, guys. Between 107 to 106.92. Support is found. ES is incredibly close to 1657. Torture on oil for all the reasons we discussed in Alpha Wave Traders Club. We're out of oil, out of oil. Oil is heading to 106.92. First negative trade on oil this week. All right, ES at 1657. And here's oil at 106.92. After giving us quite a pullback, will 106.92 be respected more? Guys, oil blasted through 106.92. So what are we witnessing here? We're witnessing that the spectacular bounce of 106.92 prior to the market open finally had been broken with incredible struggle on oil. Next level on oil, 106.63 and all the way to 106.18. So currently simply monitoring oil, incredibly excited about ES 1657 area. This is exactly where ES is. Now, not to be fooled, bearish trend is spectacular on ES, which is incredibly clear. Until I will get a solid confirmation, I can't touch anything here. It's a dense. So yesterday I spent amazing time with some of the most fascinating women I've ever met. Seriously. Which is such a rarity. There are so many people sleepwalk through life, and I've been meeting the most amazing women in Miami. Beautiful, accomplished, incredibly successful, incredibly alive. It is so magnificent. So S is giving us a bit of a dance at 1657. So far, looking good. Trying to see if it has any meaning or if it's a fluff. So far 5 trades on oil this week. This is first negative trade after incredible struggle. Yes, and the ratios were horrendous, Mark. There was a lot of conflict on that structure. But it blasted, it worked. Alright, so will yes give us something to talk about? Finding support, finding support. Now the key question remains, does it have meaning or is it a fluff? All right, IFEs. So 5 range is at the play, clearly. We're setting up for complex alpha on 5 range. Very powerful critical levels, daily, hourly. It's a complex alpha. Point B, not engulfing. This is dreamlike structure. All we need to get right now is enough space to the opposing pivot and point C engulfing. I don't see a trade on any other time frames. On oil, my ideal level to the downside will be 106.18 and potentially all the way to 106. There was absolutely no trade on oil whatsoever since trading room open. None. So oil at decision point 2. All right, guys, oil at decision point 2. ES at danger zone levels. ES is giving us confirmation on multiple time frames that potentially it's not a fluff, it's something that's tradable, which is a very, very good thing. Hank, very, very few here trade on Infinity. Majority of people trade on Ninja. So highly recommend you ask a broker on Infinity, which Infinity is one broker, correct? I've heard people who trade on Infinity absolutely love it. Know nothing about Infinity. I looked at it a couple of times, but I must tell you, probably second person in 2 years I've seen who trades on Infinity. If you love it, stick with it. If it works, hate technical problems. I'm the least technical person on earth, honestly. All right, so let's see what we're seeing on the price. Currently, we're just waiting for confirmation on our rules. This is what we've been waiting for on ES. This is what we discussed this morning in our wave class. Very, very powerful level across the board. But don't be fooled. It's very, very critical to get a confirmation because this bearish trend is monumental, phenomenal, and spectacular. Oil tortured us on that trade. This was a magnificent bounce prior to the market open, and here's level 2. Am I incredibly excited about this level? No, not really. As we discussed, 106.18, 106 would be a lot more exciting. So, but we'll see what we get. Again, I have definitely, as you can see, as we discussed in Alpha Wave Traders Club, consistently, I emphasize and explain to you that each one of us has a predisposition either to long or short trades. Most men are short traders, most women are long traders. By far, I am a buyer. No question about it. It's a lot easier for me to see long setups than to see short ones. But I assure you, there was nothing that we could touch since the market opened on ES and oil. Besides the trade we took on oil. All right, I like the buyers. I like the buyers. So while we're monitoring the formations, let's talk about how essential it is to have knowledge of your platform and your broker. What's the difference between Infinity TradeStation versus Ninja Trader? Infinity and TradeStation is, and please do correct me if I'm wrong, because it's been years and I've never traded on Infinity, but what I know, and I've traded for years on TradeStation, which TradeStation is one of the most advanced platforms ever. What is the difference? The difference is the following, and the difference is huge. NinjaTrader is a platform and platform only. It is not a monopoly. So you have choices of many, many brokers you can choose from while you're trading on Ninja. Infinity and TradeStation are a monopoly. It's a one-stop shop, one broker, one platform. So, and that's a big difference. Again, if you're happy, stick with it. If you are not happy, those are the reasons. Make sense? The brackets on TradeStation are absolutely mind-blowing. TradeStation is incredibly sophisticated if you intend to trade complex, scaling out, scaling in, and so on. But it's also, if you're using complex brackets, which I had done, it can have quite a few technical complexities, which may not be good at all. So it took me years and years and years to ever look on Ninja until my amazing friend Rich switched to Ninja from TradeStation, which I was like, wow, have you gone mad? How, and what in the world would make you? And he's like, well, I gave it a shot and I never looked back. So because I admire him so highly, I've done the same thing and it's been exactly the same story. Ninja is incredibly user friendly. It's very vanilla, and if you trade pure price action, I've never found anything better. Incredibly user-friendly instrument, yeah, platform. So here's a decision point on multiple time frames on ES. Does this have meaning or is this a fluff? This is where it will get incredibly interesting. So right now we're gonna find out if it's a fluff or if it's meaningful. That's what I'm monitoring and that's what I'm waiting for. To be frank, I would love for ES to collapse all the way back down to 1657. Guys, for all the reasons we discussed in education course, I may be taking incredibly aggressive trade on oil. I'm giving you a heads up. Monitoring oil very, very carefully. We will discuss the trade in Alpha Wave Traders Club shortly, but those who had been in my classes for a while will know exactly what I mean by that. On ES, this bullish move still remains fluff. It's still a struggle and it's not over. So will ES collapse all the way to 1657, pretty please? Gonna go long on oil, 107. Stop 106.86. Office, we're gonna talk about this trade in just a second. On this particular trade, I will be monitoring danger zone levels. For all the reasons we discussed this morning in education in wave class, I expected when bulls will show up, they will show up with magnificent power. So this is a moment of truth and the bearish fluff is over. Huge struggle on ES still continues. Wow, that's interesting, Pamela. I have to pull it up. I don't know where to get the info, where to go if there is a hurricane, there is anything. Okay, Alfie, so here's a fascinating struggle on oil. Why is this aggressive? It's aggressive because it's 107. But because I already witnessed this massive pullback on oil from 107 that went on and gave us three-wave pullback, as spelled out, this trade still had remained quite aggressive because of 107 number. But there is absolutely very, very clearly powerful bullish structure. This is what we discussed in the advanced class. It's very powerful bullish structure. But 107 is what made my trade aggressive. Makes sense? So as you could see, it's incredibly small time frame, 8 range. The smallest time frame I would ever trade on oil. This is my very, very first target. Take some of the profits off. Stop break even. So let's talk about this structure. Only 20% of the times the trend ends at decision point 2. Stepping stone, decision point 1, decision point 2, danger zone. The end of the bearish correction ends here only 20% of the time. Because on the multiple time frames, oil still remains incredibly bullish, which I have tendency to be very biased towards. I'm always incredibly excited about taking bullish trades. And for all the reasons we discussed in Alpha Wave Traders Club, I'm still predicting oil going all the way to 108.41. based on the weekly, based on the daily. So good to those of you who know how to trade my method and who are trading options. That's when magic begins. And this is a reminder, price came to the danger zone levels. Will it do exactly the same as we are witnessing on ES? Our guiding light, 1 hour. Will the price blast through? I don't have any solid conservative entries. I will also take pretty aggressive entry on ES at 1662 and a quarter. There is no conservative trades in this market yet. Danger zone is respected. ES long 1662 and a quarter. But let's talk about correlation and the magic of method that just took me years to design. The danger is reached. The reverse is here. That's why if you take in trend entry anywhere in these levels and you keep losing money, that's exactly why, because you don't know that you are in danger zone levels. So when market opened this morning, it was incredibly clear to me. I had to wait, and I had to wait very patiently, because entry into the danger zone happens outside of decision point 2. Taking trend position anywhere here, ouch. Do I think the bearish structure is over? No, absolutely not. Two things happen when price reaches danger zone: correction or reversal. This may be only a correction, but I respect it and I absolutely expect it. Cutie fruity correlation of alpha wave trader method and various Fibonacci levels. Cutie fruity 8 range oil had reached the danger zone resistance level. My second target, my trail is at 107.05. Why in the world this matters? Because this is my trade exhaustion level, exactly where ES became incredibly tired, and despite very, very bearish news, as spelled out, 1657 area was absolutely critical for reversal. I am currently monitoring to see if I'm going to get entered on my smallest range chart, 5 range on ES. So why in the world did I take long on oil? This is a stepping stone. End of minor trend. This is where we made the initial attempt to take long on oil. We tortured. Finally, oil blasted through to the second level. Because we know the reason to be excited on long on oil. Weekly and daily charts still pointing up all the way to 108.41. So this is highly possible the end of the bearish trend that we had been incredibly closely watching, because we knew when bulls will show up, they will show up with vengeance. But as you could see clearly, the danger is here. My trade is exhausted and taking a pause. Will it blast through? It's showing incredibly high potential. ES is still frozen. We're still not in a trade on ES. So far we had taken a total of 6 trades on oil this week, only 1 negative this morning, after excruciating struggle. Guys, I may be canceling trade on ES at any moment. The struggle is still on. Take care. Thank you, Pamela. Oh my God, what just happened? I clicked on the link Pamela posted and it kicked me out. Hold on, the screens are coming back. I'm canceling my long on ES, and as you could see very, very clearly, my long in oil is over. My exhaustion levels of my trade had been reached. Two targets are in. But this is what happens when price reaches danger zone. The formula remains the same. It doesn't matter if it's weekly, monthly, yearly, or if it's a range chart. Formula remains the same. Dead ends on ES is still on. Well, let's just stick it out. I'm seeing the struggle. Something may play in effect. So guess what? Do you remember our fascinating 107.23 level on oil? Let's cancel ES, and we are out of oil. Gonna take another long on oil, 21 range. My long on oil, 107.24. Stop 106.94. Trade number 7 of the week on oil. So far we had 6 trades, 1 negative. My entry 107.24. My stop 106.94. What will price do? The struggle in ES still continues. Huge struggle. Let's go long on ES. Long on ES. 1661. Stop 1659. Long 1661. Stop 1651. 59. I'm gonna cancel long on oil. Cancel long on oil. Out of yes, guys. Bye, John. Take care. Oh, I've been talking about multiple meditation books, and it's posted in the member area. David, who is in the club, David Sweeney, wrote the article. There's a couple of books. One is Search Inside Yourself, and the other one is David's book, phenomenal book, which I can get the picture of and I can post it in the club in a second. But it's all posted in the member area, right? It's funny, that's been a lot of conversations I had last night till 2 o'clock in the morning, which is like happened in my previous life. Magic happens in life when you're meeting interesting people, right? Let's go long on yes. Let's go long on yes. Again, guys, there is no solid conservative structure yet. Bearish trend is simply finding a support. Stop 1657.75. August. Did anybody get hit at 16.59.50? The trade was placed after. Did anybody get entered into that? Yeah, I didn't think so, Steve. Good. That's a good news. All right, so the good news, we place the trade after the fact. Anyhow, I'm still monitoring the structure on ES. The dance is still on at these levels. Mark, to answer your question, I don't see anything. Absolutely nothing. So on that note, let me see if I have the meditation book. Mark, I don't have those time frames open, so I don't know. So obvious, this is August at its best. ES is still dancing at these levels, finally giving us a bit of a meaning. On ES8 range, it did give us a pivot, it did give us potential alpha long. The problem is it didn't obey the rules, so I couldn't take it. So currently I'm simply monitoring the 5 range for a pullback before I enter. We had a very, very quick continuation long on a range, but the ratios were significantly off, and ultimate pivot high was incredibly close. So fascinating day on ES, a fascinating chap on ES still continues. Brutal, absolutely brutal. August is full of surprises. The dance is still on. These levels are absolutely incredibly powerful. I see absolutely nothing spectacular. Once again, long on ES, 1660. Stop at the moment, 1658 and a quarter. On this particular level, I am aiming for 1660.75 as my first target. It's incredibly small time frame. When the rally will show up on ES, it will be magnificent. This level is very, very critical across multiple time frames, 1657. But the dance had been absolutely brutal. The August. All right, so please listen to this trade very, very carefully. 1660.75, this is the levels to monitor to see if this brutal chop is over. 1660.75 is critical to respect. If ES will blast through 1660.75, rally could be quite lovely. So finally 1660.75 is the very, very first level I can consider on this incredibly small time frame. Don't be surprised if I will give you incredibly large time frame for my next entry, as this brutal chop is finally showing potential for ending. All right, will ES blast through 1660.75 and this rally will pick up. Is everybody clear what I've been waiting for? Second level we discussed 1661.50, correct? Had been incredibly fascinating morning on ES. One of incredibly challenging and interesting August mornings. This is a level I had been incredibly excited about. 1657 is a level we've been discussing and monitoring since early this morning. The dance had been endless. 1657 is a massive support level across multiple time frames. 1657, when the buyers will show up, they will show up with magnificent vengeance. Had been monitoring 5 range at the very inception of the trend for quite some time. The first intent was absolutely not successful. Second one is here. I am placing my stop to break even. Do not be surprised if I will be taking trades on much larger time frame to show you that alpha wave trader method remains the same. It doesn't matter the time frame, it doesn't matter the instrument. 1657 is finally in a play. But don't be fooled. Danger zone on my 5 range, my trade is as significant as danger zone to the downside on 1 hour. What did we discuss? Second level is absolutely critical. Happens to be 1662 and a quarter. That's how price moves. Stop 1660. So 1662 and a quarter is here. Will AS finally blast through this level? You remember what danger zone is, correct? Danger zone is where we will get a bit of a pullback. Two things happen when trade reaches danger zone, pullback or reversal. 95% of the times the trade is over at this level. Concept is identical as the short trend is over at this level. Trailing very carefully, trail 1660.50. Second target is in. Oh no, how predictable. Here's a pullback. The danger. So typically, yes, is incredibly well-behaved instrument because the liquidity is there. Therefore, it's incredibly challenging and difficult for market makers to manipulate such powerful instrument as S&P 500 future, which is drastically different case on oil. Oil is very poor liquidity instrument, therefore oil is incredibly volatile and incredibly jittery, very oily. But what happens if retail trader is not aware of danger of trading in August? Surprises you see in a price structure even on ES in August is very much reminiscent of oil. August and December are notorious for surprises and jitteriness even on ES. Prudent and successful trading is not about babysitting the computer and trading in the months of August and December. Prudent and conservative trading is knowing when not to trade. Prudent and conservative trading is about trading Monday through Thursday, walking away from computer on Fridays, August, December, and during powerful news days such as G8 and G20 meetings. Prudent and conservative trading involves less time in front of the screen. So there we go. Danger on 5 range is respected as much as danger respected on hourly chart. Pullback is here. That's why my trail is incredibly close. If price will blast through these levels, it means we're evolving into larger time frame, which means next trade I will be taking which drastically bigger targets on much bigger time frame. That's how price moves. That's what puzzle consists of. 1657 level is not to be ignored. And here it is, reminder. This is what oil had been doing this morning. Here is the magic of the puzzle. Level 1, level 2. Oil was quite a fantastic rally to the upside on a trade we had taken previously. Oil, I'm still projecting much larger time frames to 108.41. Ta-da! Buckle up! As spelled out and as expected, ES is blasting through the danger. See massive correlation. Danger zone level 2, 1660-250. Is this clear? More time we spend with the price, more we learn, more I learn. I'm forever blessed and forever grateful to spend time with Alfies, to learn so much more through students' eyes, to see and to understand how magnificent this puzzle is. So will yes blast through 1662.50? If it will migrate all the way to 1668.75. Alfies, I hope and pray that no one here is trading live account in the month of August. I don't know how much more clear I can be. That was a brutal chop on ES at incredibly spectacular levels, which is completely expected in the month of August. But once again, take a look on 8 range. There is a dream structure setting up on 8 range. I may be taking next trade on 8 range and complex alpha on 1 hour. Make sense? Do you know what the smartest thing I've done is to remove NASDAQ, to remove the other 6 charts? I don't know, I was mad woman to trade NASDAQ in addition to all I look at right now. So there we go. The moment of truth. Will 1660-250 be broken to the upside? This is a reminder how critical the levels are. Never enter into the level, only trade in between the levels. This struggle is just hilarious, right? How adorable is this puzzle? I'm still getting jibbies every time I see it. So again, it's killing me when I mention to someone how magnificent the symmetry of price is. Only those who are passionate about trading will understand that. So I'm incredibly grateful when I speak yesterday with Anne, which I hope Anne is here, meeting women who are passionate about trading, which is incredibly rare. If you intend to become a successful trader, it means you're passionate about trading. Trading is not about being crazy about profits. It's the same exact mentality as being excited about trading, playing in Vegas. The excitement about trading means you are passionate about price action. You're passionate about the art of trading. There is so much more to the game than just simply charts. It's a puzzle, and it keeps evolving itself from the smallest time frames to much bigger time frames. So this is a moment of truth. 1662.50 is not broken. We'll get quite an impressive collapse. You see how close my trail is? 1660.50. We called for this as second target. Again, as you can see very clearly, everything I demonstrate here with alpha wave trader method showing how precise and clear these levels are. Price is not breaking through, guys. The struggle is still on. Know your levels. Know what not to enter into. Hi, Anne. Thrilled to see you. Thank you for sharing picture of your doggy. I'll bring up the picture of my doggies once we'll take a little break, which I hope soon. So while we're babysitting this structure and we're monitoring this pullback, I want to tell you about the girl I spent with last night. My God, how amazing it is to meet women who accomplished insane things in their life. So she's ex-model, she's absolutely stunning, and she worked for nonprofits for 10 years. She worked in Uganda, she worked in, God, I don't even remember, Zimbabwe, which I've done work in Africa, which I think pretty cool. I think everybody should try it once in a while to see how much we take for granted. But she got offered a job by someone she met that she couldn't refuse as a flight attendant and coordinator for private jet company. How cool is that? But she became so sick of that job because she had to be on call 24/7 and be ready to go to the plane within 45 minutes, which is insane, right? That she decided to try something else. So she can get some sleep and she can be a little bit flexible about her life. On that note, hold on. Price is breaking. At any moment, I will be migrating into a larger time frame. Nice to see when ES is behaving, which ES does all the time, as long as it's not December and August. Monday through Thursday, ES is a very well behaved queen. Sometimes I call ES soldier because ES marching very steadily. So I'm thrilled to see that 1657, a level I've been incredibly firm on, is finally playing out. I am evolving into much larger time frame. Since my levels are almost broken to the upside. So since 1663 had been reached, migrating into much larger targets. So again, because everybody has drastically different targets based on their account size, this is where the price is currently. Next target based on this structure, 1664, since we blasted through all of the targets on 5 range chart. And what are we aiming for? 1668.75. But we're not ignoring our smaller time frame wave expansion. Correct? And that's how price moves. It's a stepping stone. So speaking of the devil and speaking of the move, what did I learn about move? Move is not about anything else in life except one most essential component. People who make your life fascinating and interesting. And I'm forever grateful for people I meet in Miami, honestly. Should make a reality TV. So how predictable is this? Next level of danger. Adjusting my trailing ES to 1661.75. Fridays are market makers quoted day. Fridays, market makers play against retail traders. Most jittery, the most unpredictable days to trade. It's notorious and it's very, very well known in futures trading community, just the same as in Forex Mondays. In futures, it's Fridays. Fridays go from incredibly comatose to very jittery. We don't document results on Fridays because we don't believe in trading on Fridays. So Fridays we devote to education. So most of the time Danny will be here tomorrow. We'll be starting with a wave class at 9:30. By the way, speaking of the devil, let's take a look at the link for Office. I promise you I'm gonna post a link, correct? And you know that in Forex, Monday is a very dangerous day to trade, right? Absolutely. It's absolutely critical to be educated when not to trade. One of the most essential components that traders don't want to hear. But again, happy things happen when you look at your account and you recognize that trading less means more profits. Office, the 1 hour chart is setting up for complex alpha on ES. Is everybody clear? If you look and open up the charts, you would see it very, very clearly. It is a massive confirmation of weekly level, daily level. So just wanted to remind everybody, wanted to remind to you why I was so firm and so clear about this level. Because it's not just 1 hour that's telling me so. It's very, very clearly spelled out by a much more powerful time frame, my daily chart. Here we may get spectacular reversals as across the board, daily and weekly, had been showing how critical and powerful this level is. So there we go. Price is hanging for dear life to our third target, 1664. So our patient had paid off 5 points later. But price is struggling to blast through this level. Next level will be 1665.75, 1667.50, and then 1668.75. Pure price action tells me so. Office, please let me know that's clear, the 1 hour chart. 8 range is very, very beautiful. Would love to catch a pullback on 8 range. Incredibly powerful, advanced structure. Yes, Rabin. Yes. Since 2 weeks ago, we started doing that. Right. We're gonna continue doing that because I much prefer being in education than trading rooms since I don't believe in trading on Friday. It's a bit of a personal conflict. So guys, feel free to ask me any questions you may have. I'm adjusting my trail to 1662.50. Is everybody clear why I've been so excited about this level? So I love, love, love the fact that Alfie is inspiring me to look on much larger time frames. Seeing how critical this correlation is so powerful. I can't tell you enough. Guys, if something is not clear, please do ask because we're still seeing nothing on oil. Oil is due for a pullback. Monitoring oil to see if we're going to get meaningful push to the downside. I'm waiting for the link. Robin, just waiting for the link. Teen, oh my God. Where have you been? On vacation? Happy to see you. So fantastic to see you. It's August, absolutely. How wise. How beautiful. I must admit the market has been surprisingly active but pretty jittery. So ES is not typical well-behaved self. It's quite funky, but we've been discussing, I'm not sure if you know, and I should definitely send email to everybody. We've been meeting at 9:15 every morning in Alpha Wave Traders Club for the wave reviews. So, and it's been absolutely fantastic to look on longer time frames. And please do remember, guys, can you please tell me if support sent you an email with a link to the wave class? Has anybody received an email? Right, so 9:15 every morning in Alpha Wave Traders Club, and on Friday we go straight to the wave class. No email yet. Okay, I'm gonna have to call them because the email was supposed to be out in 2 hours. I mean 2 hours ago. So Trading room, we're still in a trade on ES. There is absolutely so I am waiting to be able to reach them. So I'm not sure what is going on. We migrated to a new email server, so it's been a bit funky. But it was supposed to be out 9 a.m. EST. So trading room, please let me know if you have any questions. It's almost 12 EST. I don't have anything else unless oil will give me a trade. I expect to remain in this long. The only thing I may be taking on oil is short. So I'm gonna tell you, this is the third Brazilian woman I met in Miami, and my God, these women know how to enjoy life. Oh, I am so lucky. Mwah. So on that note, let me see where's the wave class link. I'm still monitoring oil to see if we're gonna have a trade, to see what is going on. So still no trade on oil. I will be right back. If anybody has any questions about anything else, please let me know. So as you could see clearly, each and every trend has the end. Just like bearish trend had found the exhaustion point at the danger zone, our 5 range, our trade had found the exhaustion when it reached on the wave expansion danger zone. That's what happens. If you know your levels, you know where not to enter and where to take profits of the table. So let's see if anything will change within the next few minutes, as I expect reversals at this time. My trail is very, very close. Oh, no, 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 no. 9:15 AST, Jane. 15 minutes before we start. But it's Monday through Thursday, and Friday we go to the wave class at 9:30. So support team just supplied to me the wave class link for tomorrow. Don, please let me know that you hear. There we go. Hold on, posting the link. Don, everybody, all alphas in Alpha Wave Traders Club, please take a look at that link. It's going out via email as well. Guys, so if nothing will change in the next 2 minutes, this is it. Then we're not expecting much for quite some time. Alrighty, our long had ended after we blasted through all the targets on 5 range. We went into a larger time frame. We hit our danger zone level. We are out. Once again, formula remains the same as very clearly is shown. Had been quite fascinating day. Thrilled to see that the S finally behaved as expected at this very, very critical levels. So in summary, 2 trades on yesterday. The initial effort was not successful. This trade, we had a run-up of 5 points, and I look to take this trade on much larger time frame as well, as this level is not to be underestimated. But once again, picture perfect reminder, know where dangers and levels are. Nothing delayed, everything price tells you that you need to know very far in advance. Cutie Fruity Oil behaved quite similar as LS. At the initial effort gave us huge struggle, behaved on our second effort, gave us quite a rally. Guys, do remember tomorrow is Friday. Our focus on Fridays is on education, especially during months of August.